Hey everybody, I have a quick devotional thought for you on this Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. This is a passage in the New Testament I think a lot of times gets glossed over real fast, and it's not a very exciting, interesting passage. And it doesn't deal with a lot of things that we deal with today, but the lesson behind it is important. So if you would, you want to follow along with me, I'm going to go to 1 Corinthians 8. And I'm going to start down around verse 7 and kind of read through the end. I may skip a verse or so, but that's 1 Corinthians 8, starting at verse 7. We're talking in this passage about the meat that is sacrificed to a false god and whether Christians would be allowed to eat at a banquet that served that sort of food. It is not everyone, however, who has this knowledge. Since some have become so accustomed to idols until now, they still think of the food they eat as food sacrificed to an idol, and their conscience, being weak, is defiled. Food will not bring us closer to God. We are no worse off if we do not eat, and no better if we do. But take care that this liberty of yours does not somehow become a stumbling block to the weak. For if others see you, who possess knowledge, eating in the temple of an idol, they may not, since their conscience is weak, be encouraged to the point of eating food sacrificed to idols. So by your knowledge, those weak believers for whom Christ died are destroyed. But when you thus sin against members of your family and wound their conscience when it is weak, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if food is causing of their failing, I will never eat meat, so that I may not cause one of them to fall. Okay, like I said, not exactly a really exciting passage, but what they're talking about here is a very interesting thing. They would have all these temples, and they would sacrifice animals to these various gods around, and then they would take these animals that have been sacrificed, and they would eat them. They would have a banquet at these temples where you could come and eat the food. Now, for the people that worshipped this religion, that was it was something very special to them. It was something that they got to do because it brought them closer to their God. The Christians of the time, they didn't care. They were just looking for a meal. And this was an opportunity for them to get food. They didn't believe in the God, they didn't believe in the sacrifice, but they were interested in having the food. Paul says, if you're okay with it, if you understand, that's fine. Go eat the food, but make sure that by your actions you're not causing someone else to stumble. Because if someone else who doesn't maybe get it all right away, if they see you, who they know is a good example, doing something that maybe they haven't quite figured out, that may cause them to stumble in their faith and say, maybe this God is okay if they think this God's okay. It applies to us today because we as Christians are constantly scrutinized by those that are not. We are the example. So I'm not going to ever tell someone what to do or not do in your own faith. Okay? You may like a particular television show that maybe has a raunchier sense of humor to it. You may enjoy something for yourself that maybe someone else would look at and say, I don't know if a Christian should be doing that. The judgment's not on you. Your faith is solid, and that's great. But make sure that when you do your actions in the world, that you are setting a good example. Because if someone else is struggling and they see how you behave and then they emulate that and it causes them to have problems, the fault is on you. So be wary of your actions. Be wary of your decisions. Not just for your own faith, but for the faith of others around you. It may be fine for you and your relationship with God, but it may not be for the person next to you. And so you have to take special care to make sure that you're protecting Christians around you, because we are one faith community. We are a body of believers, so we should take care of one another. Thank you guys for tuning in today. Remember, if you need anything, I'm always here for you. Reach out to me. I'll be happy to help any way that I can. I look forward to sharing these with you again, and we will talk again soon.